It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder in their house, Chesapeake Energy Arena. And for Oklahoma City, they'd like to play well to start this season series. They haven't forgotten how this team knocked them out in the first round last season. And Kenny, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season. You know,
Huge deals.
Huge deals. You know, but typically they come in the offseason because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in midseason. So you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler of the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players would be slow to acclimate. But, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We'll see the Houston Rockets facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, James Harden is a great offensive player, but there's no mistaking it. He does dominate the ball. Now, that can bother teammates sometimes, but Coach Mike D'Antoni says when they feel that paycheck every 2 weeks, that should make them play hard. You have to be a star in your role. So when James gets the ball to you, shoot it, and then run back and play hard as heck. Kevin?
Thanks. He's a great passer, David. There's no doubt he can set the table. Doors should be a fun one tonight. Both teams on serious hot streaks. Talk about the attitude in that locker room that you've witnessed, the mindset of the players when things really get going.
Well, there's a tremendous swagger and confidence, a lot of trash talking in the locker room saying, hey, fellas, we're good. We got this tonight.
And so off the tip, it's Oklahoma City and the Houston Rockets starting five. Paul and Harden, the star-studded backcourt. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. And it's Capella in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Off the pick. And it's George missing. Now the Rockets with it. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
I think, Greg, you can't expect to win with that kind of effort. The defense was nowhere to be found, and it cost them all night long.
Harden the pass to Ariza. Over George. Here's Paul. The dish to Capella. The shot, no good. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And look, it's always tough to win on the road. You've got to go in with the right mindset, and they did.
I think, Greg, they didn't let the crowd or the noise get to them, and they have to be happy with how they played and executed on the road in that one.
Here is Harden following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Good.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle. And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
One shot.
Free throw good from Harden. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Nobody near George. Offline with his three. For Houston, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And the dunk by Capella.
Just finding the open man. Few who have ever played this game have Paul's vision.
Westbrook with it. 20 points for him last game against the Utah Jazz.
And his court vision was extraordinary, too. Let's not forget that. He was flawless passing the ball.
Now here's Paul. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Capella. It's hauled in by Adams. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Roberson. Ariza with the rebound.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Paul's shot is off.
He does the hard part. Gets through the defense all the way to the rim. I thought the finish would be the easy part.
Roberson, and the layup's good off the glass. Roberson's got his first bucket in this one.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Buries the long-range jumper.
And if he can hit that shot, it spreads the defense out and really changes the complexion of the game.
It just opens the court up so much more, and you like to see him get into a rhythm from beyond the arc.
Here's Paul, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Oklahoma City called for the foul.
Boy, I mean, the career Paul has had just in terms of being a great point guard, there really are no words left to describe. And one of the surprise moves of this past offseason was Chris Paul moving to Houston, joining James Harden to become one of the strongest backcourts in our league. Kicked off a feeling that Houston would be a force this season.
And the first one at the line is good. And you know, Greg, many thought that Chris Paul may take a look at San Antonio, and he did, but Houston was too enticing a chance to pass up.
Yeah, it's certainly a distinctive third chapter in Paul's career. He's always been criticized for not going deep in the playoffs, and saw Houston as maybe his best bet to make a deep run.
And Paul drills both of them. About halfway into the season, Doris, teams are already separating themselves from the pack. What are some of the elements you are looking for right now as you take a look at those top teams and trying to figure out a championship contender?
So you know that line, it's about the economy, stupid. It's about the players, right? You got to have players. You got to have stars. The contending teams always have at least 2 or 3 stars. So let's begin there. The other part is you've got to have the right role players around the stars. Think about the Draymond Greens. Think about the Kevin Loves. Guys in those positions that are in support of maybe the guys who have the ball in their hands. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. There's got to be an unselfishness, a professionalism, a commitment. All the things that make championships possible on any number of levels.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. Well, across the board last season, James Harden, Greg, saw his numbers jump through the roof, but he showed improvement both in his defensive engagement as well as his rebounding. Not something that a lot of us saw coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with Harden, I think the rebounding is the really surprising number. Went from being an average rebounding guard to a great one the last few seasons. He's been showing more of a dedication to all aspects of the game.
And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Thunder.
And the 3-point shot was a huge part of their game plan. When it was falling, it made them very hard to defend. Opponents were stretched out all over the place.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Here's Westbrook. And again, unable to change momentum here.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Here is Harden. Last time out he had 38 points. And it's Paul missing. Puts it up from 12. Here's Anthony. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
You know, and even when the play isn't for him, Anthony able to get on the glass and on the scoreboard.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And you know what? The work he's put in at the line starting to pay off. How about 78% on the season?
That free throw good from Anthony.
You know, you just look back on the way Melo's game has evolved over his career. Certainly a couple of changes. He uses an outside shot far more often now that he is more comfortable with his three. And not as many fouls drawn, but he still does a really good job attacking the rim.
And here's Westbrook. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Adams sets the pick for George. Passes it to Adams. Back to George. Adams with the screen on Ariza. Open shot, George, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. George has got his first basket of the night. And think about Melo's game over the years, Doris. He's made adjustments, but overall he has remained incredibly consistent in what his strengths are.
Well, this guy is a tremendous scorer from the mid-range. You can post him on the low block. You certainly don't score 20 points per game every season in your career without having multiple tools at your disposal.
And here is Paul. 17 points for him last game against the Clippers. Screen by Capella. It's Harden with the drive. Westbrook pulls it in.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
From 15 feet away. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, it's been an up and down quarter for him on the offensive end. Mostly down, though.
The shot's good from Paul.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Adams. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Utah Jazz.
And don't forget about the 4 blocks. Just a big all-around game, particularly on the defensive side.
Here's Anderson. Here's Harden on the wing. 10 points for him. Shot clock at 5. Kicks it to Paul. Kept alive. Back to Harden. Jacks up a 3. That shot off. Under trailing by 8. And Robertson has it in the corner. Paul against Westbrook. He dishes it to George. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Here's Adams, and Capella sends it back. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And the Thunder with some changes. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. That's Felton in for Roberson. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Gordon's checked in. Screen by Capella. Ariza has the open look. Buries it from three-point range. Ariza's got 6.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And one thing that is quite clear with the Rockets in terms of their approach is their shot selection. They prefer easy layups or threes. Very rarely will you see them play that in-between game.
And that shot selection, a systematic approach by the whole Houston organization. Greg, is a team, they actually took less mid-range jump shots than DeMar DeRozan did individually last season.
Yeah, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the approach Houston has made successful the last few seasons, that they are 100% committed to not taking mid-range shots if they can help it.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Abrinas is checked in. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Bahamute comes in for Anderson. Johnson, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Green in for Chris Paul.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Felton dishes to George. Back to Felton. There's a good screen. No good off the back of the rim.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. You've got to capitalize when the screen opens up wide open shots like that.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, and he was so quick to break on that one. A good sign that he read the play.
An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. And the Rockets lead by 13. Now the pass to Collison. And George kicks to Patterson. That three off the mark.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And really, that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
You know, I'm surprised the defense hasn't done anything to take away that three-point shot. You know, that's their preferred weapon tonight.
Here is Collison after the Rockets pick up three. Felton with the ball. Now Green defending. It's deflected.
Twice on the pipes. Nene sends it back.
Here's Gordon. Another shot. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here is Mbamute. And a miss there on the triple. Thunder trailing by 16. Here's Abrinas. An 11-point game for him in the win against Utah.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
Gordon, the pass to Green. Hits the three-point bomb. Green's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now, here's Patterson. He had 10 points in the win against Utah.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collected huge amounts of rebounds.
Corey Brewer's checked in for George. Here's Abrinas, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And guys, that's one of the more basic plays in anybody's playbook, but not to mention also truly one of the best.
And Greg, the pick frees him up, and the dunk caps it off.
Yeah, run your offense with that kind of precision. Not much anyone can do to stop it.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
1:53 left to play in the first. From about 16, it's tipped, and he gets it back. Nice shot by Felton.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Now here's Johnson. He has 5. Outside Gordon. And Mbamute kicks to Johnson. And some nice passing there by Houston. Gordon dishes to Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Houston needs to get a shot off. Nene. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Nene's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, unfazed by the defense. Nene making his mark inside right now.
Here's Abrinas, started by Green. Here's Collison. Kept alive. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Collison's got his first 2 points of the night.
The initial miss was the best thing that could have happened to them. He was in absolutely perfect position for the putback.
There's Gordon with the 3. That one's not going to go. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
And they're facing the team that dismissed them from the postseason last year. So certainly a little payback in mind.
Green, no luck. Thunder trailing by 17. Felton kicks to Abrinas. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Now the Rockets with it. The 9-foot shot, and the shot is good from Johnson. Johnson's got 7.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
No, exactly right. You can't afford to get complacent, right? They have to stay hungry and humble if they want to keep this lead.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Houston on top, up by 16. 2K Sports, back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. And quite a position here for the Rockets to be in. What do you think, guys?
Protecting that rim early on, that's been a big factor for them tonight.
I'll tell you, rejection after rejection. The other team having a oh, please.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. For 3, Felton. Mbamute pulls it in.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Thunder trailing by 18. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Here's Felton. Sweet little floater. Felton's got 5 points so far.
Love the aggressive attitude of Felton going right at the rack.
Gordon, the pass to Johnson. Back to Gordon. Johnson outside. He kicks to Mbamute. On the wing, Green. 5 to shoot. On the mark with the 15-footer. Green's got his 2nd bucket of the night. Oklahoma City shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. And Patterson kicks to Abrinas. Patterson, the screen. Back to Abrinas. Here's the screen. There's the triple. But they recover it. It's rebounded by Houston.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And the shot is good from Johnson.
You have to appreciate Johnson's decision-making. He knows when to pull up, but he also knows when to slash to the cup.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
Well, if you think back to last season, guys, the narrative was that Russell Westbrook had zero help on this roster. To be completely honest, I thought it was unfair to the pieces that were around Russell Westbrook and the job they did playing their roles to exactly the standard this organization wanted.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Anthony comes in for Patrick Patterson. Roberson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Raymond Felton. And what the fans are saying is that Westbrook, Doris, just needs more help around him.
Well, certainly the acquisition of Paul George should relieve some pressure on Russell Westbrook because now he's teamed along yet another superstar.
Capella dishes to Anderson. Paul outside. The kick out to Anderson. No good from outside. Thunder trailing by 18. Down low. Here's Westbrook. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 6 rebounds here tonight. The kick out to Anderson over Anthony, and it's Anderson that time on the assist from Harden. Harden's got 3 assists tonight. Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Westbrook passes to Anthony. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession. And a chance here to check out the league's scoring leaders. James Harden, number 1, and of course, Russell Westbrook.
Anytime these two guys are on the floor at the same time, you're just waiting for one of them to go off, if not both of them.
Here's Westbrook. He's a guy that can score, no doubt, averaging over 25 points a game. Pass to Roberson, and Adams kicks to Brewer. Screen by Adams, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
No, I didn't either. I thought his feet were moving. It was close, but he was still sliding in just a bit.
Paul kicks to Harden. Dishes to Capella. Back to Harden. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. One trend we've seen, Doris, is the shift away from one primary ball handler toward a more collective approach. Do you think that change is here to stay?
Well, it'll be interesting. I do think the NBA is very much a copycat league. So you think back to the 90s and the slowed down, grinded battles between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks, to now the pace and space offenses that is so much fun for us to watch. What's the next evolution? We saw the San Antonio Spurs play big. Is there a team that wants to reformulate the NBA, find success? As you know, everybody's trying to beat the champ, and right now the champ is all about pace and space and equal opportunity offense.
Indeed. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Yeah, and really, since moving over to the point guard spot, Harden has been unstoppable. Just a nightly triple-double threat.
Screen by Adams from deep 3-point range. Shot clock reset for Oklahoma City.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Paul kicks to Harden. Feeds to Capella. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
You must respect the strength of Russell Westbrook. Boy, even when you foul him, he can still finish. Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered, and he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
Free throw good, Westbrook. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense, and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin, and it's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible.
He feeds it to George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. 6 points for George.
And Paul George very confident down on the low block. He positions himself well to get off any shot he wants.
Harden kicks to Ariza. Back to Harden. And Westbrook pulls it down.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
Outside for George. Bangs home the trifecta. George has got 9.
Well, gorgeous release on the shot. Paul George is a confident shooter from anywhere.
Harden left side. And here's Anderson for three. They get it back. Right wing. Ariza dishes to Paul. Goes back up. And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
Rockets leading by 16. Paul left side. Down low. Stolen by George. And Robertson has it in the corner. Westbrook against Paul. Lets it go from 14. And that one comes up a bit short.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Thunder trailing by 16. Here's Roberson. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And it's Westbrook again missing.
I'll tell you, that's been the story of this guy's night. He can't get anything to fall.
Harden up top. 12 points for him. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. You look at the success that Coach Billy Donovan has had both at the college level at Florida and his first few years in the NBA at Oklahoma City. Doris, he very much feels at home in playoff and pressure situations.
Well, certainly Billy D has a lot of experience managing a team in a postseason setting. This is a guy who always tinkers during the regular season to find different angles to help his guys. Billy Donovan, one of those guys increasingly who you don't want to see in a 7-game series.
Free throw good, James Harden.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
And both free throws good for James Harden. Doris, every team now is looking for bigs who can rebound, block shots, defend in the perimeter, and hit the face-up jump shot, which we've seen. But now they're moving outside. That's asking a lot of the versatility from that one position. So when you think of that, who fits the bill in your mind?
Well, the guy who was eye-popping in limited action was Mr. Joel Embiid. What a great personality and a diverse skill set on the offensive end. Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns, both from the University of Kentucky, have the kind of skill set that I think makes them the prototypical next-generation NBA player. Those guys can step away, make three-point opportunities. Both can face up, put it on the deck, and go in either direction. Both can go with their back to the basket. I mean, what a luxury for those coaches to have a big man with those capabilities.
Ariza kicks to Capella. Stolen by Westbrook. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Here's Roberson. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's going to be on James Harden.
Well, Westbrook can be a pass-first mentality when necessary. How about the recognition from the crafty guard?
Well, you talk about the very definition of what a defensive specialist is, Doris, and that is Andre Roberson.
Right. What you love about Roberson is he can match up with multiple positions on the defensive end. One thing you worry about, obviously, is teams when he is on the offensive end, they're going to give him a lot of shots because he's yet to prove he can consistently knock those down.
Houston leading by 15. To the paint. Got a piece of it. Kicks it out to Paul. Shoots the three. Again, the miss by Paul.
Well, obviously, it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around. I'll tell you, his touch has been off all day, and now his judgment is starting to go by the wayside as well. That's a poor shot.
Ariza outside. Anderson the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Ariza passes to Anderson. Drops in the tray. Anderson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
How about the quickness of that release from Anderson on that triple? What a quick trigger. And to have a big man with his kind of accuracy from deep, it's a nice weapon to have.
Here's George, and Capella sends it back. Paul dishes to Harden. Good on the shot. Harden's got 16.
And Harden's such a creative scorer, especially when he gets in close to the basket.
Thunder trailing by 20. Outside Westbrook. Here's George, and too long on the shot.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
It's Harden with the drive. Kicks it out to Paul. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 4th assist in this one.
Keeping the pressure on and starting to pad this lead around the halfway point.
Yeah, seems like they're starting to pull away a bit right now. They just look a little faster and a little hungrier than the opposition right now.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Abrinas is checked in for Andre Robertson. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Green kicks to Nene. Back to Green. This one for 3. Thunder with the rebound. Collison's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Here's Gordon, and it's off the back rim. No good.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Got that one up quick. That's 7 points for Raymond Felton.
Well, Felton's so smooth with that jumper, leaves the floor quickly and releases it in no time.
Gordon up on top. He's covered by Felton. Gordon, the pass to Mbamute. Bangs home the trifecta. Mbamute has got 6.
Guys, listen, the defense was totally invisible on that 3-point attempt. Nobody even in his zip code.
George dishes to Collison. Oklahoma City the rebound. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
We call that masterful use of the pump fake. Paul George effective getting guys to jump on it.
And Paul George, the 10th overall pick in 2010 out of Fresno State. I'm not sure anyone realized, Doris, he'd be this good when he first got into the league.
No, you make a great point, Kev, because the physical tools were there, but his work ethic to keep adding layers to his game has been truly a thing to watch. This guy's got a chance to win league MVP before it's all said and done.
That's good from George.
Well, you got to love the passion of Paul George. He plays with his heart. I mean, this guy is a standout player who has the drive to be an all-time great.
Both good from the line that time.
It's so fascinating to look back on Thunder history because 3 current players who are dominating the league were together on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Harden, Durant, and Westbrook. In retrospect, the talent level on that team was unreal.
Now Felton. He had 10 points in the win against the Utah Jazz. There's the pick. Patterson, the screen. Fires from deep. And so it's the Houston Rockets with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, hot start, cool finish. What happened out there?
Well, we came out with a lot of energy, but in the second quarter, it died down a little bit. You know, it's real. Everybody's very excited. You know, our team's excited, their team's excited, officials excited, you know what I mean? So we just got to calm down and play a little bit.
And I'm excited. Thanks, Chris. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 16 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
I'll tell you what, James Harden has reached a new level offensively. It's the threat of the score, the threat of the pass, and the ability to completely control the pace of the game. He's also developed as a leader, the kind that younger guys can learn from and look up to.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, Ernie, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Greg, there's no doubt. This guy has been superb at moving the ball and getting all of his guys going on the offensive end.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Rockets leading by 19 points. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Anthony, and it's Adams in at the 5. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Ariza with it. George picks him up. Here's Anderson. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got 6 rebounds in the game. And George, here we go. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got 4 assists now tonight. So it's the Rockets now. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. Over to the wing. Capella kicks to Harden. Screen by Capella. And some nice passing there by Houston. Here's Anderson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Anderson's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
I love this approach. Despite the lead, still attacking, adding fuel to the fire.
They are absolutely relentless right now, Greg. There's no end in sight. They are going for it.
George passes to Adams, and Adams with the slam.
Well, that's just great work from Paul George to spot the open man, and at his size, he can see right over the defense.
Screen by Capella. Paul kicks to Harden, and it's Ariza in the corner. Pass to Paul. Now the feed to Capella. The 3 from Harden. That one misses, and the Thunder going the other way now. Deep 2 from Anthony. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Paul kicks to Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
Outstanding pass. He reads the play as it develops, and his lead pass is absolutely perfect.
Now the dish to Adams. Second shot opportunity. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Paul with the ball. He's got 9. Top of the key, Ariza. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, another turnover, but guys, on the whole, I think they've done a great job of running their offense without too many miscues.
Here's Roberson, guarded by Harden. From the wing. No good off the front iron. Rockets leading by 17. Well, we're into the 3rd quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And Adams sends it back. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. Brewer is checked in for Oklahoma City. Here's Harden. Again, the miss by Harden.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Well, we call that crowding the shooter, right? You don't give up an inch. It's just perfect defense.
The Rockets have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the 3rd. Screen by Capella. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one's on Anthony. The Rockets have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And looking at the numbers this season, they're shooting a robust 82% from the line. That's about as good as it gets.
Two shots.
Free throw drops for Harden.
And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
Harden hits them both. And last season, the Rockets' offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. 2 great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
Well, I think during this timeout, they've got to talk about ways to deny the basketball to him. That's the key, because when he gets it, chances are he's going to score.
And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Westbrook.
And these sorts of nights can happen. I mean, an extremely rough outing from him in terms of his efficiency. And at this point, the only thing you can hope for is to try to get into some sort of rhythm. Get a couple in a row, try to get to the free throw line, and build some confidence.
Here's Roberson, guarded by Harden. They set the pick. 5 on the clock. Westbrook with a wide open look. Connects from 3-point range. Westbrook's got 12 points in the game.
Well, Westbrook's shot is so quick. Really doesn't hesitate for a single second from downtown.
Anderson the screen. Ariza up top, covered by Brewer. Ariza kicks to Paul. On the wing, Harden. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not helping his team. That was an awful quarter.
Here's Roberson. Good D by Harden.
Boy, too much traffic in the lane. Very difficult finish with the defense draped all over him.
Capella kicks to Harden. Screen by Capella. Ariza outside. And some nice passing there by Houston. And here's Anderson for 3. Good work defensively by Anthony. Launches a three, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 5 assists in the game. Houston leading by 11. Harden sets the pick for Paul. Harden outside. The tray. Another miss by Houston.
I know he wants to answer the three that was just made on the other end, but he can't let that affect his judgment. He's got to find the best shot possible.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Anthony. Doris, you were born in New York, became the first female analyst to ever call a Knicks game. Talk about the emotions that night, having traveled that incredible journey.
You know, Kev, it was both magical and nerve-wracking. You know, I grew up a Knicks fan when there was a healthy Bernard King, and the league had absolutely nothing for him when he was doing work on the low post. Hubie Brown was an idol of mine. But it was also nerve-wracking to be the first woman to sit in Clyde Frazier's seat. It was sort of awe-inspiring and a ton of fun.
And Harden comes to help. To the middle, here's Westbrook. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Westbrook's got 7 points here in this quarter. Houston leading by 9. Harden sets the pick for Paul. Screen by Capella. Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Yeah, they're having a tough time containing Harden here tonight. No surprise there.
Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Here's Westbrook. That one wide left.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
Kicks it out to Paul. Fires for 3. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Paul's got 12 in the game.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency.
Westbrook can't get it to go. Houston's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Passes it to Paul. Kicks it to Anderson. Back to Paul. Harden outside. And Anderson has it in the corner. 3 on 3. Here's Roberson. It's stolen by Capella. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Harden's got the ball. And Ariza with the stuff.
And racing up the court, you have a number of options and a great decision there.
I love how he took the initiative, right? You took charge of the opportunity and made the right decision.
Here's Roberson. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Rockets leading by 16. Harden outside. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Felton's checked in, and a change for the Rockets. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. And here is Paul. 12 points for him. 6 to shoot. Here's Harden. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. Harden's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Adams with the screen on Paul. And it's Westbrook missing. And here's Houston. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Harden kicks to Nene. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. 8 points for Nene.
And when you're on the road, this is how you silence the crowd. Tremendous all-around play.
But it's not easy building a lead like this on the road, Greg, but they have been lights out throughout this game.
And they've just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Greg, I think this other team is just in a zone right now. They're clicking on the offensive end, and the defense starting to look frustrated.
Harden dishes to Nene. And Adams sends it back. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. A different look for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Anthony. And Alex Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Houston with a big group substitution here. And Mbaamute's checked in for Anderson. Johnson comes in for Trevor Ariza. Green, he's checked in for James Harden. And Gordon subbed in for Chris Paul. Here is Mbaamute. No good from outside. Thunder trailing by 20. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Corey Brewer. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's averaging about 7 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And those numbers, solid, not spectacular, and sometimes what you see is what you get.
There's no doubt. This is a guy who understands his role, knows he's got to give you quality minutes, and that's what they expect from him.
Abrinas' shot is off. Here's Houston now. This run now up to 13-2. Here's Johnson. It's deflected. Nene kicks to Mbaamute. There's Green with the three. The shot that time not on target. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for them.
Oh, my goodness. That is how to attack the rim. Don't give the defense time to react. That's beautiful.
Johnson, the pass to Gordon. And Mbaamute kicks to Johnson. Screen by Mbaamute. Just 5 on the clock. Outside Gordon. Lets the three fly. Buries the long-range jumper. Gordon's got his second bucket of the night. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
He dishes it to Johnson. Nene, the screen. Green kicks to Johnson. Gordon with no one around. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Gordon's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Felton the pass to Abrinas. 17-foot shot on the way. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
The Thunder have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Paul George, he's checked in for Brewer.
One shot.
And that one falls for Collison. And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions.
Thunder trailing by 21. Patterson setting the pick for Felton. The pass to Abrinas. Collison dishes to Felton. They set the screen. The three from George. Connects from three-point range. George has got 16.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
Johnson kicks to Mbaamute. Back to Johnson. over George. Johnson can't hit.
And why take that contested shot? I mean, make the extra pass.
Now, that's a head scratcher. When the defense is in your grill, move the ball.
Basket good. 10 points for him.
And you can see the second chance points now starting to be a major factor.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Nene kicks to Gordon. Poked loose, and it goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Felton.
Down low, Nene.
There's 18 seconds left in the third. They grab their own miss, and Bahamute the pass to Nene. There's Gordon with the three, and play stops as it looks like they call an over the back here.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's climbing all over him on that one, no way the officials are going to miss that.
I think you can't even go for that rebound. He's completely checked out. Just leave it alone.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
You know, Kev, I remember when Patrick Patterson was coming out of high school. Major recruiting battle. Every school seemed to want this guy. Duke, Florida, you name it. But the Kentucky Wildcats win again.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Now here's Gordon. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Rockets lead by 15. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
We got to now start to anchor down defensively right now. Trust each other and trust the loads. It's not just one-on-one defense, it's together.
Little help from your friends. This is what Billy wants. He wants a lot of communication, wants teamwork. And guys, you were talking during that break. You think his team is listening.
Well, you know, you also have to credit the other team. I always say, you know, they get checks on the 1st and 15th also. I mean, the offensive play calling is having an effect, and let's just see how they respond.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Gordon is out there with Gerald Green. Then there's Nene. Then it's Mbamute, and it's Johnson in at the 3. Kicks it out to Gordon. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. Johnson's got 3 assists now in this one. Thunder trailing by 15. Outside, Felton. He kicks it to Collison. George against Gordon. Fires, high post. Here's Collison. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
1 shot.
Collison no good on the free throw. Houston leading by 13. Johnson outside. Pass to Mbamute. Down low. Green kicks to Mbamute. Off target with the open look. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. But they get it back.
The momentum continues to go their way. Pretty much the story of the game.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere.
And it's Gordon penetrating. Johnson, a wide open look, gets the 3-pointer to fall. And the Rockets lead by 14.
Joe Johnson showing off that sweet touch from deep. Wow, what a dangerous three-point threat.
Felton dishes to Collison. George against Johnson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier two-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Endorse Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that, to me, Kev, is one of the hardest things to do in this league. To expend the energy necessary to be an elite two-way player, Paul George is the real deal.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. And it's Andre Robertson in for Alex Abrinas. Screen by Capella. Gordon kicks to Johnson. Clock at 6. Green inside, and Roberson pulls it down. Roberson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
No doubt it's been a rough game for him. I don't think he's going to lose any sleep over it as long as they hang on to the lead the rest of the way.
George against Johnson. The shot by George, no good. Rockets leading by 12. From deep, Green. The second chance effort. Gordon kicks to Mbamute. Here's Johnson. It's hauled in by Paul George. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Here's Patterson, and count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Russell Westbrook's checked in for Raymond Felton. Houston with a big group substitution here. Anderson, he's checked in for Mbamute. Ariza comes in for Johnson. James Harden, he's checked in for Green. And Paul's subbed in for Eric Gordon.
One shot.
And that one misses. And an impressive transition for Patrick Patterson, developing Doris into a stretch 4 in the NBA.
Well, think about it, Kev. This is a guy who only made 24 threes in 3 years at Kentucky. Now in the NBA, he averages over 100 a season.
Carmelo Anthony is checked in for Oklahoma City. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. And Robertson has it in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Screen by Capella. Harden draws the double, and the dunk by Capella.
And Harden is more than just a scorer. He's also got some sensational handles and passing instincts. Loves connecting with his teammates.
Westbrook passes to Adams. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
I'll tell you, you're not going to find a much more confident basketball player. He always believes the points are going to come. Well, obviously, the biggest impact Steven Adams has for this team is his ability to be a defensive force in the middle. This guy carves up space, takes away any would-be penetrators, solid rim protection, just an unbelievable guy on the interior.
That free throw good from Anthony. More on Adams, Doris. Not only is he a shot-blocking presence, but also will come up with a good amount of steals for a big man.
And that's an area, Kev, where Adams has really improved recently.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's a beautiful jam.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. That's good from Capella. And you watch the Thunder play, and they are just so physical with teams. They will bump you inside and outside and do everything they can do to let you know they are going to lock things down.
Well, look up and down the roster, Kevin, and you're going to see very physical players. Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook set the tone. But you can't expect to play the Thunder and not be needing a little ice bath after the game.
Houston leading by 9. Harden outside. Anderson with the screen for Harden. Uncovered. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Harden's got 10 points in just the second half. The Thunder have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth, and even 50%. There's the pick. The three from Anthony, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 6 assists here tonight. The Rockets have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Paul dishes to Ariza. Harden outside, and Anderson has it in the corner. Paul outside, 6 to shoot. In the corner, Harden from deep. Capella kicks to Harden. Ball against Westbrook. Here's Anderson. Another shot. Rebounded by Anthony. Thunder trailing by 8. Dishes it to Adams. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Well, the size and the frame of Steven Adams was flat out intimidating. A high percentage scorer around the blocks.
Paul kicks to Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Ariza against George. Outside Westbrook. Screen by Adams. The three from George. They get it back. The shot, no good. Rockets leading by 8. Paul kicks to Anderson. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on George. Well, Ryan Anderson, a terrific deep threat in stretch 4.
And I remember last season when he told reporters that a heckler yelled out at him, "Hey, Ryan, you look like a math teacher." And you know, we've heard a lot of these off-the-wall heckles before. But the irony is it's oftentimes the strange ones that tend to stick with you more. And that's an example of it right there.
That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. Thunder trailing by 9. Westbrook kicks to Adams. Outside Anthony. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 14 rebounds. Screen by Capella. Paul kicks to Harden. Here's Ariza. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. 11 points for Ariza.
I'll tell you, they're willing to give him that shot, and he takes advantage of it.
Anthony, the pass to George. Back to Anthony. Feeds it to Robertson. Pass to Anthony. Again, the miss by Anthony.
Now, great look on that, just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
Screen by Adams. It's stolen by Ariza. And here comes Ariza, leading the fast break. And here's Harden for three. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. George has got his 5th rebound in this one.
He had a make from downtown in the first half, but no threes since then.
Rockets leading by 12. Paul dishes to Anderson. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Here's George. Houston's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. Count it. 28 points for James Harden.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Thunder trailing by 16. Outside Westbrook. And he can't bank that one in. Here's Houston now. They're on a 17-7 run. Paul kicks to Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
Exceptional play across the board. I love their tenacity, just piling it on at this point.
You know, the beauty is it hasn't just been offense, right? It's been the defensive end as well. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Well, Chris Paul signing the big contract this past offseason, and you knew he'd end up with one of the biggest deals out there, and his impact on a team goes far beyond just stats.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. And here now the Thunder. It's an 18-point game. Well, Greg, Houston wanted Chris Paul, and they got their man. One of the bigger surprises, certainly, of the offseason.
Yeah, and without Paul on this roster, this team isn't in the conversation for winning. You need him to keep your window of winning open, and he is just that impactful and makes everyone on the floor better.
6 on the shot clock. Westbrook with the block.
Oh, my goodness. Russell Westbrook twice on the pipe sends that shot back. My goodness.
And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And here's Houston. They're on a 19-7 run. Paul passes to Harden. Ariza outside. Capella with a screen on George. Paul kicks to Ariza. No good on the 3. Thunder trailing by 18. Inside, hit his foot, and the ref saying he kicked it. Houston on D. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. 1:41 left in the 4th quarter. 6 to shoot. Here's Robertson, and it's off from 3-point range.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Houston.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Clint Capella.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game. I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Paul kicks to Harden. It's Ariza on the wing. Good, and Paul gets the assist.
And on the road, silencing the crowd. What a dominant performance.
Well, they took control of this game from the outset, a commanding all-around performance and an important road win.
The shot's good from Westbrook.
Well, the concentration of Westbrook, right? The defense is in his grill, and he's sinking tough jumpers.
Now Paul. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Chris, big win tonight. What do you think was the biggest factor?
I mean, I don't know. You know, it was just our defense. You know, obviously our offense fed off of it. Guys made open shots, but I think we really locked down defensively, and that's what we're trying to make sure is that we're a defensive team every night.
Well, you were a defensive team tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Berg, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.